Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's Ryan from Game Attack Dad, and today we're going to start our Dad Talk series. And within these we're going to be covering several topics, but today we're going to be taking a light-hearted look at pregnancy. We're going to call this Surviving Pregnancy from either a dad's point of view or a partner's point of view. Now, we're going to cover several topics in this. One is going to be hunger/cravings. 2 will be tiredness in both you and your partner, and 3 will be sickness. Now, that doesn't happen to every mama-to-be, but we will cover it just in case. Now, category 1 or topic 1, which will be hunger. Now, for us, it was just quite an easy one actually, because my partner only actually wanted a KFC mini fillet burger with supercharger sauce and peppered mayo with a Pepsi Max with no ice. Now that was pretty easy to get. There's a KFC just about 10 minutes from my house, but I know a friend of mine's partner wanted cheesecake at 3 a.m. Now, if you can, a top tip from me is if your partner is starting to crave food, would be to, if it's something you can store in the house, store a lot of it. If it's something that is frozen, like a cheesecake, then buy a full one, store it in the freezer, take one out every night, defrost it. Now, this little tip can get you through it. Not necessarily win you brownie points, but it will make their life a lot easier. And then in turn, my friends, make your life a little easier. If you can keep them in here, brilliant. That's what I would do. Now, ours as well was candy floss. And I do remember, I think we ordered something like 12 tubs from Amazon. And I don't think they lasted too long, but we had 12 tubs of it in the house, plus the KFC just down the road, which made life super easy. Now, from my point of view, it was pretty easy because I wasn't being woken up at 3 or 4 in the morning to being asked for certain types of food. It literally was, she had a little bit of a craving throughout the day, or hankered for it, I guess is the word or the terminology we can use there, and that's what she really enjoyed. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a light-hearted approach to this, but there are a few serious topics that we will cover as well at some point throughout the series. Right, number 2 is tiredness. Now, tiredness is a two-edged sword, my friends. One, the mama-to-be will probably be going to bed early, which means, in turn, you get a lot of free time to yourself. Now, my tip for this is if you're going to need to start doing some sleep training with yourself. Now, for me, it wasn't too bad, but I think my partner was going to bed between 9 and 10, and I was staying up till 1 or 2 in the morning, because you will ultimately, when your little cherub, your little soul-sucking demon, or your little offspring does appear, then you will be thankful that you have done a little bit of sleep training on yourself, so it isn't too much of a shock for when it finally hits you. Now, when she has gone to bed, my other top tip for this would be make sure the bed is clear. At any point throughout the day, she may need a nap. And if your bed is not clear, then you're up shit creek, my friend. Make sure when you get up, the bed is made and no crap is left on the bed. If you leave crap on the bed, you are only causing a problem for yourself, because you are going to have to go and deal with that as soon as possible. Just leave the crap on the floor, make sure the bed's accessible, keep the sheets clean. That's all I'm going to say on that. That would be my top tips. Now, if you do want to win extra brownie points and she has just woken up, you could bring her favourite snack that she has been craving throughout her pregnancy. And that will, again, make her feel special, and the fact that you're actually listening. Now, down the tiredness route as well is you are going to also get tired, but while she is, or your mama-to-be is tired, what you also want to start doing, my friends, is picking up most of the housework, if not all of the housework. You have another child, you have a dog, you have a whatever, try and do as much as you can. It will make their lives easier, because at the end of the day, they are growing a very small human with inside them. And from what I did is she grew the baby, I sorted the dog, and I did most of the housework, the cooking, the cleaning, collecting food, that type of stuff. Now, I would highly recommend you do that, because again, you don't want your pregnant partner walking around doing the food shop if she can't or she is struggling. Now, the third topic that we will cover in this will be sickness. Now, sickness can be quite rough. I'm not going to say it can be quite rough. It is quite rough. Now, it doesn't happen in all women. Not all women experience this throughout pregnancy. Unfortunately, my partner got it quite severe over the 6-week period. And within those 6 weeks, we probably should have taken her to hospital towards the end because she did get to a point of real bad dehydration. However, we did contact the doctor in the end, and the doctor essentially gave her some anti-sickness drugs. Please do not get them over the counter. They can cause problems during pregnancy. If you do get to the point where your partner is being sick a lot and they do need tablets or some medical intervention, just call your local GP, your local doctor, whatever it's called in your country, and they're really good. They'll prescribe you something, but do not take the stuff over the counter. That would be my tip in that. Please just don't do it. Now, a couple of top tips during sickness. You will know your partner if she's being sick. She may want you in the room to hold her hair. She may not want you to touch her or go anywhere near her, because at the end of the day, my friends, you have done this to her. However, regardless you look at it, this is your fault. So my top tip in this would be, is 1, have a glass of water on standby. If you hear her about to be sick or going to be sick, just grab a drink of water, grab some tissue, a towel, doesn't matter what it is. She can have a drink, wipe her face down. And my friends, you best get used to sick because you're on clean-up crew duty. You need to get your ass in there. If it's in the sink, in the toilet, or on the floor, wherever the hell this thing has spewed all over, you need to go in and you need to start cleaning that up. 1, because she's not going to want to look at it. 2, it's good practice for you when your baby/child, or even grown adult, when they come home after a night out, spews on your floor. It's good training to deal with the smell and the clean-up. Obviously, when they're an adult, that's their problem. Now, once you've done those little tricks there, you should hopefully find it will be a bit smoother. But if you do find a point where your partner is struggling a little bit, then do contact someone in a medical profession, because they will be able to help prescribe something. Or it may be a case that she just needs to pop in just to have a little bit of intervention, just to have a little bit of help from someone that can help them with this. Now, ironically, throughout our sickness period that we had, the only thing that my partner could eat was KFC. Now, that was also down to as one of her cravings, but if she did have anything else, it just came out. But fried chicken somehow just stayed in. It was magical. I don't know what was in this stuff. No one knows what's in it, but whatever it was just kept her sane, and it kept food inside her, and it kept her going, because you got to remember that she is growing someone else inside, and it does take a lot out of you, which does tie into the tiredness as well. If they are being sick a lot, then they're going to want to sleep a lot, and there's a lot of naps. And you are also, my friends, on a side topic, you are the shield. And that could be if you're out with friends or family and your partner's there and she looks like she's about to fall asleep, it's your time to call quits. You're the one that needs to then get you both out of that situation, because I had it as well. We were out once and she looked exhausted, so we did just have to say, enough, we need to go home now. Luckily we had finished our food, and we had already been out, I think, like an hour and a half or something, so from that point of view we weren't out too long, but we weren't out in a short period of time. So we just packed up, we came home, and this is going to be down to you to learn what your partner needs and what she needs, and how you'll deal with the situation. You will pick up tips and tricks as you go through pregnancy, but that's just a brief little topic and brief little things that we will be covering throughout this series, and it'll be surviving pregnancy, and we're going to break this into 2 parts. It's going to be surviving your first blowout, surviving labour. Now that's a fun one, my friends, a very, very fun one. Your first day home, your first time that your little cherub meets someone, the do's and don'ts, and any tips and tricks that you want that people just don't tell you. But there are also 2 little things I want to pop into here as well, and I'm going to put the links in the description because they are quite important and they're close to me as well. One is pre-eclampsia. I'll leave the link in the description, but please read it. Anyone during pregnancy, man or woman or partner, it doesn't matter what gender or sex you are, just read it, because it is super important that you understand the symptoms and the signs. My partner did get pre-eclampsia, and we didn't know until we went into hospital for a separate issue, and then they discovered her blood pressure was over 200, and they also tried to perform, I think, 2 or 3 emergency C-sections in one day. That's how bad it got. Her blood pressure was way over 200. And the second is postpartum depression. It doesn't just happen to women, it does happen to you too. So I'm going to leave those little links in the description. On my next video, I'm going to cover preeclampsia, and we're going to cover the postpartum depression, and we will make it a bit lighthearted because I don't want to make it too heavy because it is an extremely heavy topic. But please, all of you, if you could go through those 2 links and just read them. It'll be different for your countries, but the symptoms are essentially the same. Now, I hope this has been informative. I'm going to do quite a few of these episodes, but if you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe, and please come back for more, and we will go through some more topics and make it funny. And I've got a lot of stories that I'd like to go through. Now, these will be probably on a 2-week period, just because my child is only 5 months old, and I don't want to go too far ahead in this that I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to have no stories to bring up. But this has been Ryan from Gamertag Dad. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll hopefully see you all again soon. Bye.